Hello learners, I welcome you all to the third lecture on basic safety practice of the first module, Electricity and Safety Measures of the online course on domestic equipment maintenance. I am Dr. Antara Mohanto Borua, Assistant Professor in Electronics, Krishnakanta Hande State Open University, Guwahati, Assam. In the first and second session of this module, we have discussed on understanding electricity and electrical energy and its conversion respectively. In this session, we will discuss about the safety requirements. The main contents of this session are fire hazards, electric shocks, safety precautions, where we will discuss the general steps to ensure safety on emergency, and then about the first aids used during emergency. The main objectives of these sessions are to provide the basic knowledge on the hazards of fire, to explain electric shocks and the steps to be taken for electric shocks, then to get an idea about the safety precautions to be followed to ensure safety for working with electrical equipment. And the fourth objective is to discuss the use of the first aids during emergency. Electricity can be dangerous if proper adequate precautions are not taken. A large number of accidents and fire resulting from hazards of electricity causing death of persons and loss of property are reported every year. Hazards associated with electricity are electric shocks, electric burn, electric fire, etc. So, safety is the primary concern for all of us. Whether at home or in workplace, safety is a must. Let us first discuss about the fire hazards. Fire is combustion of a substance with generation of heat and light. Basically, it is a chemical process in which oxygen chemically combines with the burning substance, producing heat, light, and byproduct like ash. Heat, fuel, and oxygen are essential for a fire to continue, and when any one or more of them are absent, a fire ceases to exist. Ordinary fire resulting from burning of wood, paper, cotton cloth, etc. can be extinguished by throwing water on the fire. Fire resulting from burning of petroleum products like petrol, kerosene, or chemical substances which reacts with water cannot be extinguished by water. Special fire extinguishing substances and techniques are required. The firefighting equipments are called fire extinguisher. Now, fires can be classified into different types based on the materials involved in the combustion process. They are Class A fires. These fires involve ordinary combustible materials such as paper, wood, cardboard, cloth, rubber, and many plastics. Class A fires are usually fueled by organic materials. Class B fires involve flammable or combustible liquids like gasoline, kerosene, oil, grease, alcohol, and certain solvents. These fires can spread rapidly and are often associated with fuel-based substances. Class C fires. Class C fires involve electrical equipment such as appliances, wiring, circuit breakers, and outlets. The primary hazard in these fires is a potential for electrical shocks rather than the combustion of materials. Class D fires. Class D fires involve combustible metals such as magnesium, titanium, potassium, sodium, and lithium. These fires require specialized extinguishing agents designed specially for combating metal fires. Next is Class K fires. Class K fires involve cooking oils, fats and grease typically found in kitchens and commercial cooking environments. The high temperature involved in these fires requires special extinguishing agents to effectively suppress and cool the burning oils. It is important to identify the class of fire accurately to select the appropriate fire extinguisher or firefighting method to effectively extinguish the fire and ensure safety. Based on different types of fires, fire extinguishers are classified into different categories. The most common types of fire extinguishers are water extinguishers. These extinguishers are suitable for Class A fires only. These extinguishers are filled with water and are effective against fires involving ordinary combustible materials like wood, paper, and cloths. They are not suitable for use on electrical fires or flammable liquids. Foam extinguishers. Foam extinguishers contain a foam forming agent that helps to smother the flames and cool the fire. They are effective against Class A fires and Class B fires. Next is carbon dioxide extinguishers. Carbon dioxide extinguishers contains carbon dioxide under high pressure. They are suitable for use on electrical fires as well as flammable liquid fires. Then dry chemical extinguishers. These extinguishers contain dry chemical powder that can put out fires of Class A, Class B and Class C fires. There are different types of dry chemical extinguishers such as monoammonium phosphate, sodium bicarbonate and potassium bicarbonate. Then wet chemical extinguishers. Wet chemical extinguishers are specially designed for fires involving cooking oils and fats. They contain a potassium acetate based solutions that reacts with the burning oil to form a soapy foam which helps to common types of fire extinguishers. Now it is vital to know what type of extinguishers you are using. Using the wrong type of extinguishers for the wrong type of fire can be life-threatening. Now let us discuss electrical fire hazards. Every year people die and injured in accidents involving electrical fires. Although some of these fires are caused by electrical system failures and appliances defects, many are caused by the misuse and poor maintenance of electrical appliances, incorrectly installed wiring, and overloaded circuits and use of extension cords. Overloading heats the wires, insulating materials melts because of heat and fire starts. Water is a conductor of electricity that gets converted to vapor when comes into heated wires or insulating materials. Throwing of water on electrical fire can hence be dangerous and involves risk of electric shock. One must not throw water on electrical fire. In case of electrical fire, the electrical supply should immediately be disconnected. Throwing of dry sand is helpful and fire extinguisher is necessary to extinguish the electrical fire. Now let us discuss about electric shocks. A person gets an electric shock when he comes in direct contact with live wire or voltage source and current passes through him. Severity of shock depends on the amount of current, path of the current through the body, duration of contact, and area of contact. The current again depends on the voltage and body resistance. Body resistance varies from person to person and depends on the condition of skin. With dry skin, electrical resistance of the human body is of the order of megaohms, and with wet skin, it may be as low as kiloohms. The electrical resistance of internal human body is smaller than kiloohm. The minimum current for electric shock is about 1 milliampere, which gives a mild electric shock that results in tingling sensation. Severe electric shock involving more currents may result in muscular contraction, electric burn, respiratory paralysis, and even death. The victim may become unconscious and breathing may slow or stop. Immediate attention and care is necessary to save the victim. The victim may be stuck to the source of electricity. The most important thing is to immediately turn off and disconnect the power supply. While dealing with a victim of electric shock, one should be very careful, and following the points are particularly important. Number 1 point is, do not touch the person without being sure that he or she is not in contact with live conductor or apparatus or source of electricity. Immediately switch off the main switch and disconnect electrical supply. Then separate the victim. Do not touch with bare hands. Use non-conducting material like dry wood, insulated hand gloves, etc. Then once the victim has been separated, check if he is breathing. If breathing has stopped or is slow, administer artificial respiration to restore or assist breathing. Continuous direct mouth-to-mouth artificial respiration is necessary till the breathing condition improves. If the victim has burns, do not break blisters. Rinse the burn with cold running water and cover the burn with a dressing. Get emergency medical help as soon as possible. Now, safety precautions. Electricity is very useful and is essential in our daily life. But electricity can be dangerous if proper safety precautions are not taken and can even kill. Awareness and continuous effort of all concerned are required to ensure safety. Lack of safety may lead to undesirable events like accident, fire, etc., which can lead to damage or harmful impact on life and property. Haphazard way of doing a job is unsafe and can lead to undesirable events. There are certain general steps that are always relevant. General steps to ensure safety. Some general steps relevant in ensuring safety are: always be careful. A careless person is a potential danger to himself, his fellow workmen, and to the environment. Never work with tools, equipment, or electricity when you are not feeling well, sick, or dizzy. Walking with bare boots should be avoided. Wear shoes with good insulating sole. Know the location of mains and electrical supply and switches, fire extinguishers, and emergency exit if any. Before starting the work, collect information necessary to complete the work. At times, it is important to ensure that you are authorized to do the work. Always wear appropriate recommended personal protective equipment such as insulated gloves, safety glasses, and flame-resistant clothing to protect yourself from electrical shocks, burns, and other potential hazards. You should not tamper anything unnecessarily and without any purpose. You must not play with tools, accessories, equipment, etc. Do not put sharp-edged tools, accessories, or spear in pocket. Avoid using tools like knife, screwdriver, hand saw, etc. that are without handle. Be careful in handing over such tools to someone to avoid injuries. Battery charging rooms should be well ventilated and should have sufficient light. Ensure good working environment, clean working table, adequate amount of light and air circulation. Proper ventilation is necessary. The environment should be free from dust, noise, smoke, vibration, etc. Very old or worn out tools, parts, etc. should be disposed of. The tendency to try the use very old or worn out tools or parts or components whose intended life has expired should be avoided. Now let us discuss about the first aid. Whether it is home or workplace, there must be first aid kits so that immediate actions can be taken in response to accidents and emergency that may occur. First aid is the provision of initial care for an illness or injury. It is usually performed by a layperson to a sick or injured casualty until definite medical treatment can be assessed. Certain self-limiting illness or minor injuries may not require further medical care past the first aid intervention. The key aims of first aid can be summarized in 3 key points. First one is preserve life. The overriding aim of all medical care, including first aid, is to save lives. Then prevent further harm. Also sometimes called prevent the condition from worsening. This covers both external factors such as moving a patient away from any cause of harm and applying first aid techniques to prevent worsening of the condition, such as applying pressure to stop a bleed becoming dangerous. And the next is promote recovery. First aid also involves trying to start the recovery process from the illness or injury, and in some cases might involve completion or treatment, such as in the case of applying a plaster to a small wound. First aid training also involves the prevention of initial injury and responder safety and the treatment phases. First aid kit. The basic minimum first aid kit should contain the following items: adhesive stripe and tape for dressing, sterilized cotton, gauze pad and roll, cotton swab for cleaning wounds, bandage materials, band-aid, triangular bandage, antiseptic solution, antibiotic ointment, petroleum jelly, eye pads for emergency eye cover, thermometer, sterile saline water for cleaning wounds and for eye wash, scissors, tweezers, needles and safety pins, soap and sanitizers for washing and cleaning, torchlight with extra batteries, candle and matches, emergency phone numbers of doctors, emergency services, ambulances, etc. A first aid manual and poster display. The first aid kit should be checked regularly and all items should be kept in a good ready-to-use condition. Location of the first aid kit should be easily accessible and everyone should be familiar. There may be suitable poster display near the first aid kit. First aid in common emergencies. The very common and possible injuries and illness that may occur at workplace are burn, bleeding and cut, eye injury, fall, electric shock, unconsciousness, breathing problem, etc. And first aid for these emergencies should be available. Let us first discuss the first aid for burnt. After electric shock, If the patient got burning, then depending on the degree of burning, one may give treatment in the following way. First degree burn. A minor burn should immediately be cooled by applying cold running water or by immersing in cold water. Use of ice is not recommended as it may cause frostbite and can damage skin. Never break blisters as broken blisters easily catches infection. The burn should be covered by a sterilized bandage. If the burn is more than described above, take the patient to a doctor immediately. It is also advisable that in all the cases of burn, the patient should be taken to a doctor for further checkup after the first aid. Next is second degree burn. In case of severe burn, removal of burned clothing and use of cold water to cool the burn are not recommended. For severe burn, immediate proper medical care is essential and the area of burn to be covered by sterilized loose cool bandage or cotton cloth till proper medical care is reached. Next, bleeding and cut. In case of a cut or bleeding injury, the bleeding is to be stopped first by applying pressure and then by using a bandage or clean cloth. Once bleeding stops, the wound should be cleaned by cleaning sterilized water and then antibiotic cream or ointment should be applied at the wound. The wound should be covered by bandage and further treatment with consultation of doctors should be taken. It is always better to take anti-tetanus injection. Eye injury. Eyes are delicate and immediate medical treatment should be taken in case of eye injury. There is a tendency to rub the eye in case of eye injury. Never rub the eye as rubbing can cause further damage. In case of eye irritation or minor injury resulting from dust, foreign particles in the eye or from chemical burns or fumes, etc., rinse the eye with clean water. Now let us discuss about electric shocks. If a technician, electrician or any person suffered an electric shock and after that if the victim does not breathe, one should give him artificial breathing. First method to give direct artificial respiration is mouth-to-mouth method. In this method, place the victim on back, clear mouth and throat, turn head to side and remove any foreign bodies by fingers. Tilt head back and holding lower jaw as shown in the figure. This opens air passes. Take deep breath yourself and put your mouth over his mouth or nose. Release the air so that it can go inside of the victim's chest. Hold the victim's mouth closed. Blow until you see the chest rise. Continue this artificial breathing about 12 times per minute until the victim resumes breathing. In case of children, puff gently. Next is pressure breathing. First method. In this method, first place the patient on a bed and turn his or her face and chest downward. Expiration. Kneel over the patient, place your hands flat on his or her back near the lowest rib. Spread your fingers on each side over his or her lower ribs as shown in the figure. Now lean forward gently but firmly over the patient, exerting steady pressure downwards, still following the diagram shown. Inspiration. Take yourself gently backward but do not remove your hands. Keep them in position for the next expiration process. Continue these two movements for about 15 times per minute. The process keep expanding and contracting the patient's lungs to initiate slow breathing. The operator may continue his own breathing sequence keeping pace with his forward and backward movements so that he can adapt to proper rate of his movement. Do not cease operation until natural breathing of the patient is re-established. The restoration of the breathing may take half an hour or more. The second method, in this method, put the patient on his back, means face and chest upward. Loosen the cloths on the chest and stomach. Roll a soft cloth and place it beneath the shoulders of the patients so that the head falls backward as shown in the figure. First motion, the operator kneel in the position as shown in the figure, grabs the patient just below the elbow and take his arm over his head in horizontal position about 2 seconds. In the second motion, bring the patient's arm down on each side of his chest and press inward, leaning upon his arms so as to compress his chest. Remain in this position for 2 seconds and then keep repeating both the motions at the same rate. Now, in the summary, safety is the primary concern for all of us. Whether at home or in workplace, safety is a must. Electricity is very useful and is essential for our daily life. But electricity can be dangerous, even life-threatening, if proper safety precautions are not taken. Accidents and injuries may occur from the misuse of the extension cord. There are laws, regulations, rules, norms, and guidelines for carrying out the task involving electricity. Throwing of water on electric fire can be dangerous and involves risk of electric shock. A person gets an electric shock when he or she comes in direct contact with live wire or voltage source or current passes through him. First aid kits are a must at workplace. In the event of an accident, injury, or emergency, first aid is to be administered so that the situation does not worsen till proper medical care is reached. Dear learners, I hope the information given in this session would help you to enhance your knowledge about basic safety practice. Thank you very much.